Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to make the hitch on the model car. And I'm going a little slow here because I don't have a mouse. I'm just using my trackpad. But what we're going to do, the hitch is going to be, we're going to cut a hole into the back of the car here. And then we're going to build the hitch and insert the hitch. So let's go ahead and make a sketch on the back of the car. We'll turn it so that we can see it there. And then you're just going to put a small square just right up here. Don't worry about dimensioning it. Don't worry about the placement of it or anything like that. Now click dimension. We want the square to be 0.35 inches on each side. So 0.35 wide, 0.35 tall. And then the location. We want it to be right smack dab in the middle. So based on what we know where this thing is, we want our location. We want this to be 0.825 inches off the bottom. And we want it to be 1.575 inches from the side. And you can go through and finagle, or you can go through and double check, but those should be our two numbers. So 1.825 inches from the bottom or the top, either one will work, and 1.575 inches from one side to the other side. That should square it up right in the middle. Now, we have our square right in the middle of our drawing. What we're going to do is we're going to extrude it. And to keep our dimensions the same, we're going to extrude it 0.35 inches. So what we want to do, we want to click on remove. We want to remove some material. We want to click on our square, and we want to change that to 0.35 inches. And then we can hit our check mark, and then we can see that as we rotate it, it cut that hole in there. All right, so again, 0.35 inches is the size of it. So that square is 0.35 inches wide, 0.35 inches tall, and 0.35 inches deep. Now, we're going to make our actual hitch. So we're going to click down here in the bottom left corner, the plus sign. We're going to create a new part studio. And we're going to name it, Hitch. Oops, it's right here. We're going to rename Hitch. All right, now to make this, we're going to make a sketch here on the front. And as you can guess, we're going to make a 0.35 by 0.35 shape. So 0.35 inches wide, 0.35 inches tall. Okay, now we have a square that size. And we're going to hit our check mark. Now what we're going to do is we're going to extrude that square. And we want to extrude it. You're going to extrude it, I would say here, for the best results, 1.5 inches. I had some people that had this class earlier. I think they only did 1 inch. 1 inch will be fine, but for the sake of this video, do 1.5 inches. And all you have to do is hit the check mark, and now we've got this shape. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to put a hole in it, because you know a hitch, you're going to have a hole. Think of like the receiver on a tractor, right, that a hitch pin is going to drop down in. So let's zoom in a little bit. We're going to put a sketch on the top of this. Now let's rotate it so we're looking at the top. And then for sketch 2, we're going to draw a circle here. And we're going to put it just about as close to the end as we can. And we're going to make that circle 0.25 inches. So 0.25 inches, 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to dimension that circle so that it's in the center left to right of this thing. So we're going to click from the center point of the circle to the edge, and that should be 0.175 inches. And that centers it up. And then from the end, we want that to be about 0.25 inches from the end. Should make that nice and even there. All right. Now, last thing we're going to do, well, we have two things. We're going to extrude that hole. So again, hit extrude, hit remove, click on the circle, hit our check mark, and you can see it cut a hole all the way through that. Now the last thing we're going to do, we're going to use our fillet tool, and we are going to fillet, if curve it around a little bit more. We're going to fillet these edges and just click on whatever standard. 0.2 is the standard radius, and then hit the check mark, and we wind up with this nice hitch like this. Okay. Now, we can go in to our assembly, and we notice that our car now has a hole right here. Okay, our car has that hole. What we're going to do is we're now going to place that hitch in the hole. So we're going to click on Insert. We're going to click on Hitch. And we're going to hit the check mark. And then to put the hitch in there, we're going to use the following. Up here at the top, you see the Fastened Mate. We're going to click on that. We're going to zoom in here. We're going to click on that bottom surface, so you can see what I've got highlighted there. You're going to click on that. And then we're going to zoom in on here. And you're going to click, and the first time you do it, it's going to try to put it on the outside. You've got to really make sure you get in here and put it on, if I can get this thing rotated. So see, when I first try to do it, it's going to be on the outside of it. It's not going to look right. I want to click on this back wall and click on that. And now, let me zoom out here, sorry. You see how it mated that to the back wall? It's in the wrong spot, so I just flip it like this. Okay? Now notice how my hole is sideways. I want my hole up and down, so I can hit this secondary axis button, and it's going to put my hitch in just like that. And now my hitch is locked in. If I grab it and try to move it, I can't. It's locked into the car, and that hitch is now permanently in there. Now, what you're going to do for the other side, when you make the trailer, you're going to make that exact same hitch, but then what I would do, instead of, when I made this circle to extrude it and make a hole, you can actually extrude it and make a peg. And it's going to be that same 0.25 inches. So what you would do is just, instead of extruding it and removing and cutting a hole, you're going to extrude and make a peg. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, I'll show you in this hitch. If we go to this extrude 2 here, if you were to hit add, you would wind up with this. And so now, the hitch that goes on your trailer is going to be this. The hitch that goes on your car is going to be one with the hole, and you'll just drop that hitch pin down in the hole when you put them together. Now, that may be easier said than done. So if it doesn't fit together perfect when you go to make them, we're not going to worry about it too terribly much. We know that they would go together, but you know, so don't worry. Don't sit there and spend a half an hour trying to get it all to work just perfect every time. But that's how you make the hitch. So for those of you guys working on it today, this is embedded in the 2.1.5, so you guys can check it out there. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next